This morning I wanted to do an inquiry practice, just looking at whatever's coming up and seeing it as a picture. Scott Killaby in the Living Inquiries talks about thoughts come in as words and images. We hear words, or we see them. We can see them printed out in our mind's eye. And with images, we see them. And that's all we need to do with an image, is look at it, because that's what an image is. And it's our brains that make sense of it. So if we look at a picture of an ocean, somebody might have a calm response, somebody might have a terrified response. There's all kinds of music might be running in our mind, like Jaws or whatever it is. And as soon as I said that, probably something kind of triggered in some of us at least. So our brains have this associative capacity, and it's generally very helpful in terms of we need to be able to place ourselves in the world and function well, and mostly we need to protect ourselves from danger. But when something goes wrong with that mechanism and we experience somebody out there and their words and thoughts as being in here, inside of us, that's something that we could work with through the inquiries. We talk about having a trigger on an image or words, and that means that there's some kind of bodily sensation triggered by it, or maybe there's another series of words or images. As we're starting to do this inquiry, close your eyes. Relax your body from head to toes, and notice that you're located in space. Feel the environment around you, the air, the back of your body as it connects with a bed or a chair or something in your environment. And notice your breath, and notice how we can feel the movement of our bodies with breath. And we can also feel the flow of the breath in the nose. Sometimes an image comes up and we have a response to it. And the response could be fairly neutral. It could be based on our memories. It could be fantasy. It could be some picture we saw somewhere. So we have these different experiences when we bring up an image. And it's the same with words. So if you bring to mind the words, you're a good person. You have a good heart. You're generous. I appreciate you listening to me. Something for you, for your experience. Something positive. And when you have that in mind, hear the words in your mind, and there is very likely an image, positive. So we're seeing that this is how the brain works with words and images, that we kind of hear them. And now as you're looking at those words, notice the size of the letters, the shapes, the color, the font. Notice if they seem benign, or if there's anything about the letters that you feel uneasy, you have a response in your body. And notice that these are letters that you're looking at. And then the brain, the mind makes sense of them. But on their own, they're really just shapes with space between them. And an A has a space in the middle of the circle. And if you didn't understand English and you've got English words written up there, you wouldn't know what that meant. You'd just see a series of shapes. And notice the space around the words. Notice that we're imagining these words, we're visualizing them in our mind's eye. And if you're seeing them on a piece of paper or some material, see if you can see the edges of that. Look around the outside of the material that those words are on. And notice that there's space all around the words. And notice if these words feel like they're being experienced internally or externally. If you're aware that these are words that someone else has spoken to you about you, or if there's a perception that these words are just internal, it's like they're internal to me. So even though it's in your mind's eye, notice if there's a perception of these are words that someone else has spoken. And then keeping those same words in mind, open your eyes and put the words onto the glass of a window if you can see a window, or else onto a wall, and look at them over there. You might even have that image and the words or a caption to the image or a thought bubble. And once you have that established, you're looking at those words that someone said about you. Notice that those words are in space. There's space between you and the window where the words are. There's lots of space outside the window. So you can clearly see that those words aren't internal anymore. You're looking at the words someplace else. And the same with that image. And you can see that there's space around the words and image. and space between you and the image and the words. And then close your eyes again. Take note of your body and your breath, just remembering that we're sitting supported in the environment that we're in. The breath continues to flow. And notice that it's not internal to us, it's external. Somebody else's thoughts have come up and we're responding to them. And then when you're ready, open your eyes.